Alright, welcome back.
Back to Sword Learns to Fly.
He can fly!
He can fly? Okay,
We got
Aladdin?
Halloween, Bustro. I don't remember which one you did first. I know you did Bustro last.
No, it's, so what it is this world would be the next one in the cycle.
Yeah.
This one would be one of the options, and then when you complete that world, Mushro comes and eats you when you go into the next world.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that one. I know that one's last. Why did you explain what I literally said?
Because I was talking myself into it.
Okay.
Talking myself through it, I should say.
Fair enough. Ah, yes, Dagobah. Dagobah. Tatooine.
Dagobah. Tatooine would suck to live on.
Tatooine's the
Desert
snow.
one.
Oh no, it's the desert.
That's
one.
Hoth.
Okay. Hoth is...
Tatooine would suck because you literally need to suck moisture out of the atmosphere to be able to live on that planet.
I can do that. One of my many talents.
No. Mind if we help? Thanks. I thought I was done for. And now we can get cars with Aladdin on it.
The 40 Thieves.
And the 40 Thieves.
Hey, they're never gonna reference that movie in this game franchise. Actually, didn't they? No, they didn't reference 2. I was like, didn't they reference 2? And then I was like, no, he just turns into a genie at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, fire! Freeze!
The biggest reference this game has to Aladdin 2 is the fact that Genie isn't voiced by Robin Williams.
You're on point.
Yeah! Courage!
Courage! Courage! I'm gonna get rid of it.
Why sucks.
Yeah! Rah!
You should switch it up. Wow.
I will.
Cloud's probably pretty good.
Yeah, he slashed it 2 times.
Aladdin!
Aladdin!
Slashes 2 times.
Look at how fucking badass Aladdin is.
Yeah, Aladdin seems quite good, actually.
Aladdin!
Needs to drop. Needs to drop.
That's because he's one of the 40 Thieves.
Why I find that so funny.
It's also weird that we're playing through 2 games right now that I'm
Oh yeah.
gangs.
Freeze!
I consider gangs
Aladdin!
as zombies, like, I don't really know. I don't know, man. I feel like gangs is more of a Western world thing. Because, like, the Yakuza aren't referred to as gangs. They're referred to as Yakuza.
True.
Even though they technically would
They
be a
just
gang
keep coming.
if they were over here.
We better see if the legends are true. Genie! Genie, what the fuck? Oh my god! Yes, rub his lamp.
Hot.
Ah, stand back, kids! The genie of the lamp's coming through! Ain't nothing I got can make right as rain, and if we had the rain and sand in the desert. Thanks. Enough dirty jokes, enough dry jokes. One harvest disappearing act coming right up!
Way to project yourself on the genie, Derek. Enough dirty jokes.
Whoa, gosh! Why didn't you call him in the first place?
Don't know, why is your hat a zipper?
It ain't that simple, you see. Again, I couldn't have said it better myself. But I will anyway. I'm limited to 3 wishes per master. And
Exney?
X-knee on the wishes for more wishing it.
Oh, Exney. I think. I've never seen
Got
that
2
word
wishes left.
actually
You better be
spelled.
careful. I got to get back to the palace somehow. But all these heartless. Sora, we headed there too. We headed that way too.
We're heading that way.
Okay,
too.
thank you.
Yeah. You were close.
My brain was like, does he remember it? What? So why don't we go with Aladdin? Sounds like a plan. That would be great. Thanks a lot. How do you know my name?
fact, who are any of you? How'd I get here? Is this Sandel?
Welcome to Dagobah.
Dagobah. Tatooine.
Dagobah.
Dagobah.
We're gonna keep making that joke till we die, aren't we?
It's mainly just this world. For some reason, Agrabah always makes me think of Dagobah.
Dagobah.
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Dagobah. Hoth.
Oh, damn it. I'll do,
At some point we should play that game. I don't think it has a story mode, so it might be weird. There's like a conquering mode though, we could do that.
we're talking about Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Or 1. Did 2 have...
2 had a...
I know 2 had a conquering mode.
It
I don't
actually
remember
had a
if 1
story.
had
It
conquering
had a
mode.
story where you played the 501st going through a bunch of missions.
Ah. Unfortunately, I don't have it.
Nice. I'll take a peek when I
Or
get home.
maybe I do, but
Take
it's on the
this.
PS.
I only have it.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah, I do not. See, I never bought a copy of Battlefront 2 because my cousin left it at my house
Yeah.
for like fucking 3 years, and I was just like, well, I mean,
It's mine now.
I'm just gonna keep. Eventually, you got it back. Because every time he would come over, which, you know, wasn't very often, it was like a
Yeah.
couple months, I'd just be
Yeah.
like, yo, you know you left this here, right? And he'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta take that back. And I would forget.
Alright. I think I have a couple games that I have because of stuff like that.
Yeah, like, it's so common.
Like
I think
I don't think. Let me try that sentence again.
Yeah.
I think my copy of Fable 2 or Fable 3 is not really
Freeze.
mine. I think I borrowed it from like one of my cousins and it never got taken back.
Never came back.
Courage.
Courage!
And this is why I don't let people bother games. You probably should have been a little closer.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But that's why I never let people borrow games, because I'm always like, that's what happens. It's always what happens. It's just, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. You can stay and get beaten up in the parking lot if you wish.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah.
Well, that and the whole, oh, come on, man, let me borrow it, and then I'll just go through it quick, and I'll, like, give it back to you,
Yeah,
and then
fire.
you never fucking touch it. So, like,
Freeze.
they don't have time to play it.
Yeah.
That episode's just sitting there for,
Power.
like, months. It's like, you know, maybe I want to play that still.
How dare you? Want to play your own game?
Yeah. That's pretty classic. It's always been the problem, man. If only we had a good game borrowing system. Like, if I could like copy my game and just give it to
Yeah.
friends, no money. Some sort of illegal like way, like ROMs or something.
Take this. Fire. Freeze.
The Xbox One was gonna do that, actually. They're gonna make it so the games on the disc were really just like install licenses, but you could like install it on like 4 fucking consoles. I mean,
Until you think about it.
I mean, it's cool, except
Cool
for the
idea.
fact that like they were gonna put like a licensing on like used games. So like if you wanted to buy a used copy, you had to buy the game again anyways, because the CD wasn't like the game itself once the license was used up fully. So like
Thus,
essentially,
I can see why it died.
yeah, like essentially that would have just been a huge amount of e-waste, because it's like, well, I finished playing this game and I can't install it on any more consoles, which means no one else can really buy it, because they're literally buying a blank disc that doesn't do anything, and they have to pay for the license anyways, so they're better off buying a digital because it's cheaper. So I guess I'm throwing this into the trash heap, which will then end up in the ocean.
I love that type of shit because
Yeah.
whenever I see a game in like a used section of a store
Yep.
that has become a free-to-play game,
Mhm.
I go, this is pointless now.
Yeah, this is garbage now. I mean, I'd still buy them, but that's because I like collecting shit. But
Like,
But there would
blanking
be
on
no
what the
point.
game was, but it was a game that went free-to-play, and I was just like, this is free-to-play now.
Knights of the Old Republic.
That one.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Because that one was free to play pretty quick.
good game, though. I do like it.
Yeah, it was such a good game that they made it free play.
Yeah.
Because it was doing super well.
Yep.
It's
That's why, you know? It was such a good game.
it was doing so well, they wanted, shit, we don't need to make money off this anymore. Just gave it away.
That'd be really good. He gives you money.
Donald!
There was a Star Wars MMO before Knights of the Old Republic.
Freeze!
Pretty good.
It was way better than Knights of the Old Republic.
Freeze!
But there was one problem. And the problem was...
Unlocking how to be a Jedi. Everybody's was different.
No, it was because... Well, yes. But it's mainly because no one was supposed to be a Jedi.
To make Jedis feel special.
Yeah. And then the game producers were just like, we need someone to be a Jedi by Christmas. And they were like... Because they were like... Alright, we have a system in place to make it really hard for people to become Jedis. And they're like, how long do you think it will be for someone to be a Jedi? And they were like, I don't know, based off of how people are doing and all these other variables. I don't know, probably like 3 years? And they were just like, that shit needs to be done by Christmas. So they made it really easy. Everyone was Jedi. And the game was shit.
Once everybody's special, no one's special.
Well, what didn't help is that the Jedi were like stupid fucking OP. And like, so it's just like, why play anything else? That's like the only way you can make a game like that balance though, is like, even if you made Jedis, you'd still have to make them kind of shit, because how the fuck is a smuggler supposed to deal with a Sith Lord that can shoot lightning out of his dick from fucking 14 feet away?
I really like how the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, handled that by just making them classes and making them super special if you.
Yeah. I like their original idea better, which was like, you'll just randomly, when you make a new character, you'll just randomly be a Jedi, and you'll like gain lots of power and notoriety over time, but the more notoriety you get, the more the Republic will be after you, and eventually Darth Vader will just come to fucking kill you. And then once your Jedi is dead, that's the end of that account. It's just dead, and you have to make a new character again. I like that idea better. It was a neater idea. It's Aladdin in the 40 bees.
Bees, Sora!
Fire!
Ah, beautiful.
Freeze! Power!
You know, my favorite Knights of the Old Republic game is the first one.
Most people.
Everything else is whatever.
Most people just.
I want to play 2 at some point. I have it. I just haven't had time to actually play it. It's almost like MMOs are long.
RPGs, you mean.
It's almost like RPGs are long.
No, that one. You know what the weirdest thing is? I have a good number of memories of me playing through that multiple times.
Yeah. That's just dedication there.
Yeah.
You sat down and you were just like, I need to know how this game ends.
More than once.
Like 9 times. Dude,
was it 9 times? It might have actually been 9 times.
My buddy Trevor is a big fan of Knights of the Old Republic, especially so he was playing it on the original Xbox. He also has a PC. But he has it physically.
Yeah. We had it for the PC physically as well.
This dude.
We had the disc. I don't know where it ended up, but I know I have the disc somewhere.
It's like, you gotta understand, you have the physical release of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 on both Xbox and PC. Dedication. But, he's playing through it, and I'm just watching him, because, you know, I'm just hanging out. And I'm like, who's your fucking teammate? I don't remember seeing her. And he's like, it's the first girl, the one who goes to the dark side, and you switch her over and she becomes a good guy. And I'm like, oh my god, I just fucking murdered her. That was like, everyone that I played, when I played it, I murdered her. My sister murdered her, and my other friend who played it murdered her. I did not know you could get her as a fucking teammate.
Yeah, so here's what I loved about that game. You could get different companions depending on your alignment.
Yeah.
Like, if you're evil, you could get the Wookiee.
Well, you can get, You can get companion. I think that's the second game where you get different companions based on your life. The first game, you can get different companions based off of your actions.
Back off.
Because you can make different actions to. You can talk everyone into joining your team, regardless if they like you or not. Which is neat. But it was just weird to me because I'm like, dude, I've played this game a couple times. I've fucking had this game for over 10 years now. I had no fucking clue she was a fucking party member you could get.
Right, there was a lot of that.
No fucking clue. It literally brought me back to my childhood of like, oh, you know, if you do this thing, you can get that thing. Oh, no way, you can do that. Before the internet was just like, here's an exact walkthrough.
Like, Chris,
of how to do everything.
There's a Mew under the truck.
Yeah. No, I only had real shit when I was a kid. I didn't have... I don't know who the internet grew up with, but apparently most of the internet grew up with assholes. Because all the friends I had were just like, you can do this thing, and then you go home and you can actually do that thing. The only people who would bullshit were people that I knew were always bullshitting and were not friends of mine. But yeah, there was something just so special about it. I was like, no fucking way. I'm like, you can do that? I'm like, that means... He's like, yeah, I always have her as a companion. He's like, what do you mean you never got her as a companion? I'm like, so you've never run into her friend? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, if you kill her, when you go to the fucking Sith Lord temple thing to train, you run into her friend who's upset that you killed her and you have to fight her. And he's like, I've never gotten that. I'm like, this game's awesome!
That's why it's one of the best games, man.
Like, my friend's like, I've never seen that. I'm like, this is the best fucking game.
Yeah. So, I really like the writing in that game a lot. Because of shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not many franchises would be bold enough to do that.
Right. I had a, because the way I described it was because my buddy was just like, why do you always kill her though? And I'm like, I don't want the red lightsaber. And he's like, what?
Fair enough.
He's like, what? I'm like, he's like, so you play as a bad guy? I'm like, no, I play as I'm like, my character is a very specific style of play, which is this selfish good guy. Where I play as a good guy until I want something, and then I do the wrong thing to make sure I get it.
It's the truest fucking statement, though.
It's pretty much how I play real life.
Yeah, Chris is a morally gray person. Very morally gray.
It's I will do the right thing unless it's beneficial for me not to. Go figure.
Almost like that's human nature.
Yeah, it's almost like that's all of the internet.
Power.
And Twitter. And public. And politics. And everyone.
Whoa, man, that's crazy talk.
If anyone ever tried to convince me that politicians are anything other than morally gray, manipulating people to get ahead, I would immediately
Call them liars?
call them bullshit, call their bullshit, and never talk to them again.
Call them liars.
Anyone who thinks the government is on their side is a fool. The government's out for number one, which is power and money.
I really think politicians should wear the things on their shirts that show you who was really sponsoring them.
I'd be really down to see that.
Like NASCAR
Yeah,
drivers,
make
for
it
people
like
who don't
NASCAR.
understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'd be super down. I mean, they do it with esports people too. You know, they should wear them.
Why?
They should also wear like team jackets, where it's like Democratic Party and Republican Party, Libertarian Party, and they all get like fancy
Different
shirts.
color, like you
yeah,
can
they
see by
they get
on
different
it.
colors and giant like RDL on their shirts and fucking.
Yeah, so we know.
So you know from a distance, like, oh, it's one of these fuckers again. All right, here they come. What are the blank cards, by the way?
This one here?
Oh, okay, it has an R, never mind. I was just curious as I'm like, there's just like a random blank card. What are these used for?
All of them do different things in the next room. That's what they are for.
Is a blank card just a blank, empty room with nothing?
It's just pitch black and you can't fucking see shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think so. You should use that one
Aladdin.
next time.
Aladdin.
Hold on, I need 40 thieves.
He is very effective. He's so much better than fucking Simba. Like Simba's
So no, he's
garbage.
actually a world-specific card. So if I go to any other world, I can't use him.
Oh, that's lame then.
So that's why I'm using him as much as I can to try to get a bunch of money, and also because
Yeah.
Yeah, he is definitely really good.
they're gonna blow up.
Nicely done. Careful, man. You're almost dead.
Alright.
Kill he.
Heal. Power.
Heal.
Power!
Cloud. I mean, Cloud's very strong too.
Freeze.
Although I gotta admit, his summon is kind of lame. He just comes in, he's like slicey, slicey.
Well, if I get more of him,
Yeah.
it gets better effects.
Ah. You ever get to the point where you can control them?
Fire.
No, but eventually he just fucking dashes around the screen and kills everything.
Ah. You should go for that.
You can get away.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Sword.
Swipe!
Delicioso.
Have we looked at the time?
That's a good question. You got like 3 minutes. Yeah, like 3-ish minutes.
I was like, is that the next thing? If it's the next thing, I'll do it. If not, I'll a couple more.
Yeah.
Sora, Donald, Goofy.
Sword, oh, Goofy.
Yeah.
Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts, fill them with everlasting love and affection.
Oh, can't say that.
Can't say that shit on radio.
Back off. Freeze.
He wasn't close enough for you to back off.
Fire. Heal.
Fire! How come he says fire when
Power.
he shoots ice?
That's Sora.
Yeah.
It's Sora.
Yeah.
What is he, a sitcom now?
Cause it's Sora! Da-da-da.
Oh yeah, I have to bring this up in Kingdom Hearts 1. You see his like face over there? In the corner?
Yeah.
The, like, icon? That's the high impact sexual violence face I'm talking about. Like that face is what I like think of when I see it.
Yeah.
Every time I see it I'm like, ah yes, the high impact sexual violence, Sora.
Yeah.
My boy Aladdin, the cool. It is my boy Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Aladdin!
Yeah.
What if you stab Aladdin?
No, I haven't got it.
Does he become
Mega Aladdin!
Does he evolve into a transformer? He just like morphs into the game.
Courage.
You gotta stop doing
Yeah.
that.
Well, he moves. The enemy moves on that.
I know, but like, when it's a flying enemy that darts around the room, I feel like it's not very practical.
How dare you? You are correct.
How dare you? Your hubris.
Damn hubris!
That's
Sora.
Yeah.
opening to a door. Yeah, I can't just open the chest like a normal fucking person.
Why would he do that?
Gotta be the coolest dude in the room. End of the boss.
Yeah.
I knew what I said.
Wow. And yet you still said it. No.
You're still a bitch.
You're still a bitch.
Okay, 5. Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
Hey. Card.
Alright, Sora.
Yeah. Yeah.
6. I got a 6 as well! Look at all these treasure chests I can get!
Damn, dude. Fucking rolling in them stacks. Fat stacks.
Fat stacks,
Of
man.
cards.
I
Specifically
got
cards.
fat stacks.
No cash. You get no cash.
3 wishes.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
There's 3.
Yeah. So if there isn't.
Here's the other cool. Oh. Oh, we need a 7? No. Actually,
No 7?
let's see.
With that save point, we finally have a place to
Wrap it up.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
And see you next time.
Hey, game.
So we'll see you then. Peace.